Hey, good morning, Bio30s. I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about our Chapter 11 Nervous System Notes Guide. So, obviously, Chapter 11 in your textbook, it starts on page 366. And we begin with the organization, the different divisions of the nervous system. And so, you've probably heard of the central nervous system, and that includes your brain and your spinal cord. Now, everything else besides the brain and spinal cord, that's everything outside the CNS, we call that the peripheral nervous system, or PNS. So there's a bunch of cranial nerves and spinal nerves, and they're communicating between the body and the central nervous system, and between the central nervous system and the body. So if you look at the peripheral nervous system, it has two divisions. It has the sensory or afferent division. And so we're talking about the neurons that are relaying information to the brain, to the central nervous system. So when you smell something or taste something, when you're eating, that information gets to go to the central nervous system. But these neurons, like your tongue, that has your taste receptors, and your nose with your smell receptors, they're not part of the central nervous system. They're peripheral to it. So they're part of the PNS, but they transmit information towards or to the CNS. On the opposite end of that is going away from the CNS. So a nerve impulse will start in the brain or the spinal cord, and then it gets transmitted to stimulate muscle contraction. So it's nerve impulse that goes away from the CNS. It's sending commands from the CNS, from the brain, from the spinal cord, away from the CNS to a muscle or an effector of some sort. And then the motor division has two branches, and we have the autonomic. Now, if you look at that word autonomic, it looks a lot like automatic, right? And so these are involuntary actions that are happening without your conscious control. You don't need to think about these things. Your motor autonomic nervous system is doing it for you. The other branch of the motor of this peripheral nervous system is your somatic. And so this is voluntary, and it is under conscious control. So if you're writing notes down right now, the motion of your hand, that's voluntary. You're consciously controlling the action of your pen. Now, this autonomic nervous system has two branches. It has both the sympathetic and the parasympathetic. So the sympathetic first is to speed up, like make go faster, provide more energy for the body. It's fight or flight. You've heard of like cases where like a bear jumps out of the woods and somebody runs away. And so this is under control by the sympathetic nervous system, which is a branch of the autonomic, the automatic. It's not under your conscious control, right? Your heart rate is going up and your pupils are dilating. You don't think about doing those things. Those are all under your conscious control. Next is your parasympathetic division, and it paces down. It's conserving energy for the body. And so we sometimes call this one rest and digest. So you just ate a big meal, your digestion is up, but your heart rate is down, your breathing rate is down. So these two divisions of the autonomic nervous system work opposite of one another, right? One acts to speed up and make more energy available for your body, and one is going to conserve energy and pace down and slow down your body's actions. So a couple of questions for you guys to do here, just identifying the two divisions and then the branches of each nervous system. So again, just going back to this diagram, and then talking about these two different divisions. You've got your sensory and your motor, right? And sensory is going towards the CNS, motor away from the CNS. So you've got these sense organs in your body, right? Think of your senses. Sight, vision, right? That's your eyes, is your sense organ. You can hear, that the sense organ is your ears. Taste, well, the sense organ is your tongue, okay? And so all of these are sending information, sensory information, to the central nervous system, to the brain for processing. Okay, another important, just to review this one more time, is the two divisions of the autonomic, the automatic nervous system. The speed up, the sympathetic, that is going to do things like if it's a fight or flight situation. So you're speeding up, and that we mean we're increasing pupil dilation, increasing heart rate, increased breathing rate, but your digestion is going down. So the opposite of this is going to be the parasympathetic. You can see it's pacing down. It's doing the opposite thing. So instead of increasing pupil dilation, it makes your pupils constrict and let less light in. It's decreasing the heart rate. It's decreasing the breathing rate, but the digestion is going up. Remember, this is the rest and digest. Okay, so I'm going to stop the video here, and then I'm going to do video number 2 on the types of neurons and parts of neurons, and maybe even a third video. Okay, that's it for now. Talk later.